Got that master beat, no limit, baby. Give you that black card, no limit. Just know when you roll with it.
Hey.
My hair's not done. You're gonna zoom in. Let's see how you like the rest of the
So dirty here.
It's not gonna look smooth.
I thought it was gonna work.
Hey, okay. I want y'all to do this dance now. Just on that beat.
You know what it is, gang. Waiting for like a whole 30 hour minutes. God knows how long. But yeah, you know, we're staying strong.
Okay. Hey y'all. Welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about my story. I'm only doing this video because a lot of people requested it, and everybody is like, you should make a YouTube channel, talk about your story, give advice, blah blah blah. So here I am. My story basically started this year. It started September 19th, 2016. I was in school, regular day, you know. I was normal, perfectly fine. Well, I thought I was perfectly fine, but yeah. I went into school, started off school happy, started off school strong, you know. But then I wasn't feeling right. Like, I know my body. Like, you're supposed to know your body. So like, I'm just like, something isn't right, something is wrong, I need to go to the nurse. But before everything happened, I had to go to her so I could get a snack because I have an eating problem. I have an eating disorder. I don't really eat that much, which is a problem. And so my insides, like, it eats off of itself. But okay. So I went to the nurse, got some crackers, I ate that. Then I went back to gym class. While I was in gym class, I couldn't participate because of my leg. My knee was messed up already. So I was sitting on the side with my friend Nevaeh, and we were just talking, laughing, you know, normal gym day. But then I started not feeling well. So she's like, Bree, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. She kept asking me, I kept saying I'm fine. Then I'm like, no, get Newsom. I need the nurse. So they went to get the nurse, and she came, she asked me, she like, because I have asthma, so we thought it was my asthma. So she like, is it your asthma? Do you need your asthma pump? And I'm like, no, like, my asthma is fine, I'm fine, but I'm not fine. Like, I don't know what's wrong. So, we were going back to her office. I got we like hooked arms so I could walk with her. And soon as we did that, like, we didn't even get to step away from the chair or nothing. Like, I just dropped. And we just like, yo. And I'm just like, yeah, just laying on the ground, cooling, you know. Yeah, perfectly normal. No. So when that happened, I started seizing. So like a few minutes after I fell out, I started seizing. I started having a seizure. And that was new. Like, yeah. I was lost. I was confused. I was scared. And I'm just like, what's going on? Like, why is this happening? And They called 911. The nurse was like, when I fell out, my finger, the tip of my finger started turning purple. My levels were off. Like, I was out of it. And it was, sorry. Yeah. That was a really, really tough month. Well, September, October, November was really tough months. I'm not gonna say this month, December, because it's been getting better, and we got good news. So just wait till we get to the end. I'm gonna try not to cry, but I don't know. So that happened. They called 911. They took forever to get there, of course, but when they finally got there, I was ambulanced out to the hospital, to UMD&J, because it's closer to my school. They did an EEG, and at first they were gonna like just tell me to go home. No, they did tell me to go home, but then somebody from upstairs, one of the neurologists, called down and they said that they needed to admit me because they've seen abnormal activity on my EEG. And if you don't know what an EEG is, it's basically wires that they attach to your head, and like they have a computer screen and a camera in front of you, and they monitor you, like what you're doing, and it monitors your brain waves. So that's what they was doing, and they seen abnormal brain waves, abnormal activity on the EEG. So they admit me in. I was in the hospital from September 19th to September 21st. And they put me on it for 24 hours. And that was it. They ruled out epilepsy and was basically saying it was pseudo seizures, that I had conversion disorder, that it was psychological. No, I'm not crazy. Like, I kept telling these people, I'm not crazy, I'm not stressing over nothing. Like, it's something wrong with me. I'm telling you it's something wrong with me. I know it's something wrong with me. Like, stop telling me it's psychological and I'm crazy. Like, I'm stressing over something, because although we can tell ourselves that nothing is bothering us, and it can really bother us, like, subconsciously. It was nothing wrong with me. Like, I'm telling you, it's nothing wrong with me. I need you to believe there's nothing wrong with me, and I need you to dig deeper. They wasn't doing that. So I was in and out of the hospital. Nobody was doing anything. Everybody just kept saying it was pseudo seizures, and like, it was affecting my life. It did affect my life tremendously. It got to the point I had to be homeschooled because I was having them so much in school that it was affecting my work. It was a distraction. The school didn't want to be reliable if anything major happened, so we just went with homeschooling. I'm still currently homeschooled. It affected my social life a little bit, but you know, it's cool. In October, around October 10th, I went with my mom to her therapy. I think it was for her shoulder or her knee, one of them, but I couldn't be alone, so I went with her to her therapy. And when I got up to go get some water, I called her name. I'm like, "Ma," my chest, and I just fell out. And I had a few more episodes there, so they called 911, and they rushed me to the hospital. First, I went to Overlook, and then they transported me to St. Barnabas. At St. Barnabas, I was admitted. This was October 10th. I was admitted for almost a week. I think they discharged me October 13th. Yeah. So while I was admitted there, they did, okay, when I was at Overlook, they dosed me up with a whole bunch of medicine. Like, when I tell you, I don't remember none of this. My mother and my cousins told me the story. They said it was funny. They dosed me up with a whole bunch of medicine, like Capra, I don't know the names of the medicine, but they dosed me up with a whole bunch of medicine to stop my seizures, but for some reason I kept having them. So that happened, and apparently the story is very funny. Maybe one day I'll get my mom to tell y'all, but the story was very funny. Apparently I was very high off of a whole bunch of medicine. Yep. But you know, it's cool. It's all good. So that happened. Then at St. Barnabas, they did another EEG. I was on it for 2 days, 48 hours. I think I was on it for 48 hours. I believe I was. They did an MRI, and I don't know if they did a CAT scan or not. I don't quite remember, but I do know that they did do the EEG and they did an MRI. If you don't know what an MRI is, it's like a big x-ray machine that you go in, and it's about 45 minutes, and yeah. So they did that. They did it regular, and then they did it with dye. Dye is when so they put it in your IV, and like, I believe it lights up certain parts to see if it's like anything wrong. I'm not a doctor for a reason, so if this is like, if that's wrong, I don't know, but it's dye. Like, they did the MRI with dye. So anyway, they did that. It came up clear, but it did show that I have a DVA in the frontal lobe part of my brain. I didn't ask the doctor about that because, like, I don't want to get worried or whatever. So I looked it up, and like, apparently it's normal to have a DVA. Some of the like cons of having a DVA are like really scary and heartbreaking, but you know, we're not gonna worry about that because everything is Gucci crunch. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. So I have a DVA on my frontal lobe, and that's the only thing that we found out from being in the hospital for almost a week. That's the only thing we found out. Like, they didn't tell me the type of seizures I was having because they kept saying it was pseudo seizures. I have conversion disorder. I'm crazy. It's psychological. It's all in my head. I'm making it up. Blah blah blah. When I tell you, I was annoyed. Like, I'm just like, okay, I'm just fed up with everything. Like, nobody wants to help me, so, you know, whatever. After that, I was in and out of the hospital, back and forth to doctors, you know, trying to figure out what's going on. Tons of blood work was done, like, tons and tons of blood work was done. Yeah. Recently, guys. Okay, so I ended up going to the emergency room because I had a bad seizure, and I wasn't feeling good. No, this day I ended up going to the emergency room because everything on me was swollen. Like, my face was swollen, my arms, my hands were swollen, my legs, my feet were swollen, everything. My throat was swollen, I couldn't talk. My eyes, I couldn't open them. I couldn't keep, everything was swollen. So I ended up going to the emergency room. They didn't do anything. Apparently my electrolytes, I think that's what it's called, were completely fine, and it showed that I wasn't swollen, but my body was showing swollen, but you know, they didn't do anything. Whatever. That day, me and my mom was just fed up. Like, alright, because apparently New Jersey doctors aren't going to do anything, so my mom called over to New York. We got new doctors, and you know, they did something. We went over. Coincidentally, I wasn't feeling good, so the day of my appointment was on Monday. It was actually this week. The day of my appointment was Monday. I had a full out seizure while I was in the office, and then like my eyes rolling and my eyes flickering in the head thing, all that stuff happened while I was at the doctor's office, and the doctors, they witnessed it. So they seen it. My mom is telling them everything that's happened, showing them all the doctor papers, all the paperwork and everything. And they took over. So basically they just took over my case. They felt the need to start over, like just to start from scratch. So that's what we did. They admitted me in on Wednesday. Hold up, because I have it written down. The 21st, December 21st, I was hospitalized in New York at Mount Sinai, the Kravis Children's Hospital. Okay. I'm trying to keep the tears from coming. Okay, so I was hospitalized there. They did an EEG. I didn't have an episode though in the hospital. Like, I was fine. Well, I thought I was fine. The next day, the 22nd, when my doctor came in to talk to us, they were kind of like, what is wrong with you? Like, why aren't you having a seizure? Because I didn't have the full body seizure. So they're like, do we need to tickle her? I still don't know what that means. So if you like have seizures, can you tell me what tickling somebody mean? Like, I know tickling, like I know what that means, but whatever. So they basically said that I do have seizures. I have epilepsy. They found this out from the EEG, which is weird because I didn't have a seizure. Well, I didn't have a full out seizure. I was having absent seizures all night. Like, I'm sorry, but everything about this is just cool to me. Like, I was having absent seizures, which means I was having seizures, but I just didn't know because I was full awake. Nothing was moving. I was talking. I was on my phone, but I was still having seizures. So, like, right now, I could be having a seizure. Making this video right now, I could be having a seizure, but we just won't know. It's called absent seizures. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just so cool. Like, oh my God. Okay, so, yeah. So, I do have epilepsy. I'm epileptic. I have juvenile, wait, I wrote it down. I thought I wrote it down somewhere. Juvenile myoclonic epilepsy, something like that. I will try to write it like down here. Well, type it down here so that you can see, but it's something in that area. So I was diagnosed with epilepsy. I now have medicine for it, and And yeah, like, I'm gonna get my life back. Like, oh my God. It only took 2 doctors, 1 night in the hospital to figure out I have epilepsy. But here, in my home state, it took 2 hospital stays and a whole bunch of emergency room visits to find nothing. Whatever. I'm getting my life back, y'all. 2017, I'm coming so strong. Like, oh my gosh.
Let's go.
Oh. Okay. Okay, hold on. Wait. Okay. I'm just so happy because I'm gonna be getting my life back. I'm an athlete, so I run track, and like during this whole process, I wasn't able to do anything, but now I can run track. So like, y'all should know I am extremely happy. Like, guys. Oh my God. Okay, so I have a few questions here that I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna read it and then answer. How has getting epilepsy changed my life? What is the new norm? So like I mentioned before, I'm homeschooled, so I don't really go out that much. I'm always in my bed. I'll either watch YouTube or Netflix. If I do eat, it's really small because I don't really eat that much, so I'm just normally snacking on something. Half the time I'm not feeling well, so like I said, I'm in my bed. If I do go out, it's to a friend's house. And yeah, because when I go out places, I end up having an episode, so it's a little sketchy. But yeah, that's basically it. My homeschool instructor will come here. I'll do my work for 2 hours and go back to doing whatever I was doing here. Lately I've been thinking about my future a lot, like what things could look like, what I want to do in 2017. Just a lot of planning, a lot of thinking. So yeah, everything takes place in bed. I'm always in bed. Yeah. What is getting an EEG like? It can be annoying because, like I said, you'll have a whole bunch of wires on your head. So like, even though I'm bald head, bald is beautiful. When I'll go to like scratch my head or something, it can mess up the EEG. Like, it will be a whole bunch of black lines, squiggly lines on the EEG, and like, you don't want that. So it can be annoying because you don't want to mess up your EEG. And like, it comes with a bag, so if I want to go to the bathroom or something, I have to take the bag with me. Like, yeah, too much. It's very annoying, but it's worth it. I mean, it helps in the process, so it's all worth it. What is epilepsy? Okay, hold up. I got y'all. I don't really like I said, I'm not a doctor, but this is my perspective. This is what I've got so far. Okay, I'm just gonna read it to you. Epilepsy is when activity in your brain doesn't function right. You start to experience abnormal wave patterns, which triggers an electric activity to occur. Epilepsy can be genetic, but it can also happen out of the blue. Everybody who has epilepsy deals with it differently. Symptoms aren't the same, pain levels vary. There are a number of different types of epilepsy, and it takes time to figure out which one a person can have. Medication is prescribed, and surgery can be a solution. Epilepsy isn't necessarily a life-threatening thing, but in some ways, depending on how bad it is, it can be. It's rare that epilepsy goes away on its own, but in some cases, there is a cure. Having epilepsy and not being able to treat it properly can cause damage to the brain. It can put you in a coma. Some epilepsy cause bleeding to the brain, etc. Some epilepsy, when having seizures, can occur while a person is still awake, so they know that it's happening but can't really control it. So the last part is basically mine, but yeah, that's it. What helps me stay strong and positive? For one, my support system. Okay, let me tell y'all, throughout this process, I have been very positive and whatnot, mainly because my ex-friend or friend or whatever, his name is Clyon. He's very supportive. Like, he been there from the jump, and he was the person I would go to, like the one I would call and I would start crying or whatever. Like, it's been very difficult, but he would tell me to just stay positive energy, positive thoughts, and he would just repeat it, and it stuck with me. So I just keep that mindset, and that's just how I've been getting through it all. And plus, I love smiling, laughing, and dancing, so that's another thing. If I'm getting down, then I'll just start dancing or whatever. And I have a good support system. Like, I have a strong support system. Although I've tried to, like, push away my friends, because I didn't really want them, like, being here to witness this or whatever. They would tell me, like, I'm not going anywhere, we're gonna get through this together, we're gonna stick by your side. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, they're just so great. So shout out to y'all. Having my mom, like, having her on my side has been the best. It is the best. Like, she's just always there, and it's just so it's so good. Like, shout out to you, Mom. You the best. I love you. You know. And just having everybody else there, like, all the letters I get about how I'm so strong and how people look up to me and how they hope I feel better and everything, like, it keeps me going. Like, thank y'all. Even people, like, I don't associate with, like, it feels so good. Like, it's just all the love. At first I was just like, what? But now I'm just like, ah. Like, thank you. But yeah, it's just the support system and staying positive is key. It's key. But yeah, that's it. So that's my story. I hope you guys are having a good day. I surely am, and I will later on. Check. Yeah. Later.